What's up YouTube community, Bernd here, welcome back to another video lesson. In this one we will focus on one of your absolute favorite topics, shredding and picking technique. This is one of your top voted topics on the Patreon wishlist for this month. In case you didn't already know, my patrons get to vote on the lesson topics we cover on this channel every single month on patreon.com/Bernd. So for today's lesson I made it my biggest goal to come up with the ultimate shred guitar exercise. So if you're looking for the perfect speed picking workout to include in your practice routine, you probably came to the right place. This one features a lot of crucial topics at once, so it will save you a lot of time. It will be great for your alternate picking of course, for your hand synchronization, and it also includes some very interesting rhythmic groups. But enough talk, let's get to the shredding right now. Let's quickly revisit the most important aspects of developing a clean speed picking or alternate picking technique before we tackle the actual exercise. First of all, it's also very important to focus on a proper left hand technique, since we're often quite obsessed with our right hand when it comes to fast alternate picking. So you want to position your hand like that, for example. So my fingers are as close to the fretboard as possible. I want to avoid the flying finger phenomenon at all costs. That would look something like that, where my fingers are moving away from the fretboard when they are not needed at the moment. And you can also actually feel that it's a lot of work for your left hand to move that much. So when we are playing fast, we actually always want to focus on minimizing the movement so we get some clean and consistent results. And that also goes for my right hand actually. I try to stay as relaxed as possible, and I also have a very light grip on my pick. So it doesn't look like that, for example. Here I was using my entire arm to play fast and got some very messy results, and it's also very difficult to control the amount of notes you are playing that way. So it stays very relaxed and is actually a small motion. I posted some extremely helpful workouts for your left hand last week, so make sure to go back to them in case you feel like you have to work a bit more on that. Now with this very quick summary of the general technique in mind, let's check out the practical example I recorded for you this week. As always, you can download the tabs, guitar profiles and very helpful practice backing tracks for this exercise on patreon.com/Bernd. My patrons get to download these special files for every single lesson that I post here on YouTube, and they also get my personal feedback on their progress. So if you would like to get the most amount of value out of these videos, make sure to join my shred guitar community on Patreon today. Now before you grab your guitar and start practicing, let's discuss this exercise a bit more in detail. We are alternate picking the entire workout, so there's no economy or sweep picking approach in there, it's just continuous down and up strokes all the way. The first thing you might notice, and the actual reason why this lick sounds so cool, is the fact that we are working with interesting rhythmic groups right here. So we are starting out with this lick in A minor by thinking in groups of 7. So we are playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pretty hard to play and count at the same time. So the cool thing is the progressive and quite unusual sound we get by doing that, since we're missing 1/16th note to turn this into an 8-note phrase. That of course would sound much more normal or regular to our ears. So here's how it sounds when we play it a bit faster. The tricky thing right here is the picking and the switching between the different strings, since we are not evenly distributing the down and up strokes like we would do it with a group of 8 or 4, for example. So if you never worked with this classic phrase so far, make sure to isolate it and only work with a group of 7 in the beginning before you combine all those different groups. Up next, we're interestingly switching to a group of 6. You might be already familiar with phrases like that. So this section is a bit easier than the previous one. When I'm playing both sections, it sounds like that. So we get a really interesting sound by mixing those groups together, and it sounds much better than just sticking with one of these groups for the entire lick. And to top that off, we are finishing with a chromatic phrase, so we also have these classic groups of 4 in there. And then in the end I made sure to play a suspenseful chord voicing. So I'm just playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down to the root note A, up to the octave A once again, and then I'm sliding up one whole tone, and that's the chord voicing I'm finishing with. So for the last chord voicing, or simple interval I should say, I'm just playing the minor third and ninth in relation to A, the root. So some nice tension in the end right here. So now that you have all this information, I want you to listen to the entire exercise once again. Make sure to pay attention to all those details and rhythmic groups now that you know about them. So if you want to work on your hand synchronization, your alternate picking and your creativity when it comes to fast lick writing, this is the exercise for you. Don't forget to download all your files for this lesson on patreon.com/Bernd and join this guitar community today by subscribing. We also finally have some really cool merch available on Teespring. You can find the link in the description. I designed all of the items myself and they are meant to give you some extra practice motivation for your daily routine. So if you would like to directly support the channel and also look amazing while doing so, make sure to check that out. Thanks a lot for tuning in to another episode. I will see you in the next guitar lesson coming very soon. All the best and have fun shredding until then.